I just wanted to give this to you as a birthday present, a little belated birthday present, and also an anniversary present. One thing I've realized over the last few years is just how loved you are by so many people, including myself, and it's kind of hard to capture that. So I've tried to do that over the last few days with some of your special friends here in Calgary. And yeah, I think we all just want you to know that we love you.
Hi, Jill. Your husband's making me do this.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Hi, Jill.
Stephanie Ramsey.
Lindley Hall.
Amy Cripps.
My name is Alana. It's Chelsea. It's Erica Prock-Navy.
Yura Savage.
Jocelyn, and I'm from Calgary.
Jill's favorite food.
I feel like it could be so many things. I know she's an excellent cook. Everything she makes tastes amazing. So that's my favorite food.
Oh, crud. I'm sure she's told me this.
I don't know. I'd say pizza, but I don't know. I like pizza.
Pizza. Or anything that tastes like pizza. Like pizza pockets, pizza roll-ups, pizza flavored things.
Pad Thai.
Thanksgiving dinner-ish kind of thing.
Pizza.
Pizza.
Macaroni and cheese.
Jill's favorite drink is she enjoys cranberry and soda.
Not a hot drink.
Coke.
If she was going to have an alcohol drink, I'd say she enjoys Strombo.
Chocolate milkshake.
Oh, Coke Zero.
Favorite drink? Diet Coke.
A favorite drink is maybe Coke.
I know she really likes ice caps, but she limits herself.
Hot chocolate.
Coke.
Coke.
Jill's maiden name is Johnson. Her middle name is Jillian.
Jill's maiden name. I knew this, but now I don't. Her middle name is Marie.
Marie.
Jillian Marie Antoinette.
Marie? No.
Oh, Jillian Aber Johnson. It's like her dream vacation would be, I think, traveling Europe, backpack, enjoy. I know she loves Europe, and just go to all the different cities within Europe and the art. I think she'd enjoy that.
Somewhere we could do fun, risky adventure activities like ziplining.
I don't know that actually, but maybe anywhere without her kids. Sorry, kids.
Somewhere hot, I think. Let's say Mexico.
Somewhere where she can just relax completely, not do anything, read a book, sit on the side of either a beach or a lake and just completely relax.
And she would go to the Caribbean.
Somewhere sunny and warm, like Hawaii.
I'm guessing you would be there, but I would definitely be there. And it would be on a beach, and there would certainly be no children.
I met Jill at Mums and Tots. She thought I was Sarah Quaker.
Well, you guys came down to look at our van, and you thought it was a piece of crap because the AC didn't work. So you didn't want to buy our van. But then I saw chaos in your life, and you saw chaos in our life. So we kept in touch, and here we are.
It's quite a cool story. So we just moved to Prince Albert, Saskatchewan, and we went to Kingsman Park, and lovely Chris was there with his little daughter Belle. And we started to chat, as Chris is. He is a friendly guy, and he told me his wife is pregnant and she's at home. And I thought, oh wow, this guy must have a real sweet wife. And he said, yeah, take exchange numbers, and I must phone her. And I thought, this poor woman, she's 9 months pregnant. I am too many issues, missing South Africa. I'm not going to bother her. But 2 weeks later, I thought, no, I need to reach out, and I contacted her, and that's the rest is history.
At church. It was 2014, I think, came out of church and saw her husband, saw Chris, and then met Jill there.
My strongest first memory is at Dress Club. I think officially it was at Mums and Tots.
They asked us to be part of the small group.
I met Jill at church
when we were first there, and she just introduced herself, and that was it.
I remember meeting Jill the most impactfully was when we first came to your house for small group. That was my first real memory of Jill and her awesomeness.
I think it was cookie decorating or something like that. And I was kind of like, pittering around. I was actually pregnant with Brinley at the time. And I remember Jill coming up and being so friendly. She came right up to me and like started talking to me immediately. And I just felt like an instant connection with her.
Amy had ran into her at a line at church and invited her to our dress club. So she showed up at my house, and I kind of met her, kind of not, and she showed up, and I remember her telling me she was like 3 months pregnant already with Archer or something, and I thought she was just nuts because it was her fourth.
First time I met Jill was at the Citadel Park playground, Blue Playground. I had a conversation with her. And then we met again when Ariana and Belle were in grade 1 together.
My favorite memory of Jill, or one of the many, I would say, which I had an amazing time, was when our last girls trip, when we went to Invermere and we were taking nudies together.
She's just such a great storyteller that just the way that she tells them, we're just right in those stories. So I've laughed so many times on the situations that she has somehow just come upon or been thrust upon.
She was winding up his rod and your dog was barking, so she turned around to beat your dog up and the fish hook went in Leroy's thumb.
I think we swam once and her swimming costume came down. That was, yeah, but that was not laughable. That's quite serious business.
There's too many to count. Jill tells the best stories ever.
My favorite one is when she told me about when she worked at a zoo. The tiger roared and she was afraid, so she threw the child at the tiger's cage and ran away. And then she was very ashamed, but then the tiger roared again and she threw the child at the cage again and ran again.
I feel like Jill and I laugh every time we're together. Mostly when we're doing stupid accents together, because I feel like we really understand each other.
Jill went to sit down and she had, makeshift kitchen, like we were all packed in there. And she so lovingly took the broken chair and sat down and it fell flat on the floor. And she was just like, I never really see Jill embarrassed or anything. And it was funny. It was hilarious. Just the way she handled it. She was just like such a trooper. She was like, oh my gosh, you guys, this chair was broken already.
When we switched out Chris's green tea ice cream for wasabi, and her and I were snorting, we were laughing so hard because he had no idea. But we couldn't even contain ourselves and we almost gave it away.
One word to describe Jill.
It's my favorite word, which is wonderful. But I'd also describe her as lovely, beautiful, strong, incredible.
Giving.
Oh, loving.
Caring.
Faithful.
The best. Does that count as 2?
Thoughtful.
Amazing.
Thoughtful.
Real.
Genuine.
Sincere.
My relationship with Jill means the world to me. It is truly an incredible friendship, I think. One where I can completely be myself, be vulnerable. And I think it's just, she has shown me so much in my life, in my family's life, and so much love from you guys and your family that I think it has only made my life richer.
It's been really great to have a friend to connect with. Being new to the church and kind of leaving a friend group that we had before. And it's just been really nice to be able to talk to her and be real with her and share times with our kids and times alone and know that I have someone to call if I need to.
It's meant a lot. I would consider Jill a close friend. We've known each other for just over a year, but feels like we've known each other for much longer.
It's very dear to my heart. She is probably one of my closest friends. She's always there when you need her. And yeah, very, very important.
You know, when I had Lucy and I didn't know anyone else, she came and brought me food. And her door is always open, and I love that about Jill.
She's the greatest. I don't know what to say. But you're gonna make me cry. Jill is the greatest friend anyone could ever have. Her relationship, her friendship means everything. I don't think anyone could ever say a bad word about that girl.
It's been pretty special. She's a pretty awesome woman. Always there when I need, a shoulder, conversations because something amazing's happened and I want to share it.
Just how unique she is and how she can touch absolutely every single person's life that she encounters. Whether she's a stranger to them, whether she's their best friend, she has a way of capturing every single person and making them feel like they're the only person in the room.
Jill has been a huge supporter of me. It's hard to explain. I would say just going along with how genuine Jill is, I feel like I can come to her with anything, and she's just got that loving heart that I feel like she's never judging, and she's always supporting and just wise. I feel like Jill just is like an old soul, is all I can describe her as. And she's wise, and she's caring, and she's loving, and I know that whatever she says it'll make me cry. If she says she'll pray for you, she will pray for you, and she does it, she really means it, and that means a lot. So Jill's friendship with me means a lot.
I just love her. She is the most loyal, the most down-to-earth, the most kind, the funniest, but the most drama-free friend I have. She's just so solid, and she's just there for you, and it doesn't matter what's going on in her life, she will give and give and give. That's just who she is. And you're never an imposition to her, ever. And I have learned so much from her about how to love other people and how to love people who are difficult to love, and because she models that and where she's at in her faith walk in that area just so well. She's just become one of those constants, I think, in my life that is just, I can always count on her because she's just always there, and she's always fun to be around no matter whatever place she's at. She doesn't bring people down. Being around her, it just feeds my soul. So I could go on and on. I don't know. Everything about her is, she just makes my life better.
I think having Jill in my life has been one of the most impactful relationships I've had, because like I said, Jill is real. She is who she is, and she's awesome, but she lets me be who I am too, and there's a lot of freedom in that. So she's very important to me, as she is to many people.
I love you, Jill. You are very important to me.
I would want her to know how much I love her and how much she means to me, and that she really does mean the world to me, that she's been such an inspiration, not only in my personal life, but also my spiritual life, growing as a Christian, learning so much more about being a mom, a strong mom, strong wife, and just learning and growing through God's Word.
Just keep, you're doing an amazing job as a parent, and just keep on going.
I would want her to know that she's loved, and hopefully this is the last time I'll ever see her because she's going to see Jesus. But that she's loved and she'll be missed, and
that she's a super awesome woman. I look up to her and I really value her friendship.
That I love her. She is greater than she'll ever know.
I guess just to tell her just how important she is to me and how wonderful she is, and just that I would miss her, I guess.
That she
helped me get through some of the hardest times in my life. And that I just knew she was loving me, you know, not just directly, but wherever she was. And that, you know, she supported me, and she had such compassion and care, and she's such a good friend. And I think it's hard to find people nowadays that really mean what they say and really do what they say they're going to do. And Jill does.
How much she means to me. How much her friendship means to me. How much, how I've grown as a person, I think, and as a believer because of her. And I've learned to be better because she's better.
Just that she absolutely changed my life from the second I met her till the last time I talked to her. Every time I talk to her, she changes my life with her view on things and her reality when she speaks. You're so good at, this is to Jill, you're so good at just laying it down. You want my best for me. And sometimes that hurts my feelings, but I know it's just out of love. And I appreciate everything you've ever said to me from the day one to now. You are the most genuine person ever. And my whole life has changed because I met you, and it will always be changed.
I actually met Jill in university. I was sitting in a room playing on computer at that point in time in this little thing called the Fishbowl at Commerce at the University of Saskatchewan. And Jill was sitting with a guy talking on a table, and Jill loves to tell stories, and she was telling stories about Narnia for some weird reason. And as I was playing on the computer, I listened to her, and she had, I think it was the order of the books wrong or something happening. And it was none of my business, so I stood up, walked over to her and said, "Hey, it's none of my business, I'm super sorry, you know, but I also have read the Narnia series," and I'm like, "You're wrong, it actually goes this way." And I was like, "Anyways, go back to your conversation, I'll see you later." And so I went back down and started playing the computer again, and all of a sudden I looked up and I noticed an angry person with a British accent standing over me, looking at me and saying, "You don't know what you're talking about. My dad read these books to me every day when I was a kid, and so I'm right, you're wrong. Please mind your own business." At which I said, you know, I humbly and respectfully, you know, agree that maybe he read you the books, but I read them myself, and so I know that I'm right. And so we had a bit of a fight. We sat down at the computer, and ignoring this guy she was with, we asked Jeeves, because it was long before Google, what the right answer was. And it turns out that I was actually right. It was that, but although it was a funny first meeting, I learned through that she was a Christian, and at that time I wasn't really living for the Lord, and so I all of a sudden had someone I knew in Commerce who was a Christian. And so over the next year, maybe 3 or 4 times we ran into each other and said hi. There was one time where her cousin was in town, and we actually went to a college and career night event together. But that was kind of it. Like, we kind of only seen each other a couple times. The next year I left university, I went to Bible school, and Jill had left Commerce to go into a history degree, and so we never really saw each other for a few years. And then all of a sudden one day, I was coming to university, I was late for a class before a midterm, and I was rushed there by my roommate because I hadn't been to a class all year, and so he figured if I wasn't there, I would probably fail. I ended up doing really well. But as I was on my way to that class before the midterm that I could not miss, I was running through the tunnel at the university, and all of a sudden, up coming the escalator was the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen in the world. And it was Jill. She grew her hair out long. She just looked amazing, and I hadn't seen her in a really long time. And so I won't say it was love at first sight, but boy, it was love at that sight. And so I ran up to her, I scooped her up in my arms, and I twirled her around a few times, and I said, "Where are you going? I'll follow you anywhere." And so that was what I would say is the first time I really saw and met Jill. She said, "I'm going to lunch." And so she went to eat her lunch in the buffeteria. I sat across from her with my chin on my hands, staring at her, and I was in love. And so 1 month to the day after that, I asked Jill to go out with me and be my girlfriend, which is a whole nother good story. 3 months later, I asked Jill to be my wife, and 3 months after that, we got married. So we were, I think from that day to the date we got married was 6 months. It was almost perfectly. And so, yeah, 12 years ago, I wouldn't change anything. Jill has a way of making people better. And when I look back to who I was, there's always that saying that, girls try to change a man and they won't change. I hope that I've changed, but I know that in the way I respect people, in the way I honor commitments, in the way I treat my family and my friends, I'd like to think that all those things are better off now than they were before I met Jill. My relationship with her, when we got married, everyone says, hey, you're my best friend, I'm marrying my best friend. At the time we got married, we barely knew each other. I would say we thought we were best friends, we probably weren't. But now we're at a stage where when I get good news, Jill's the first person I want to tell. When I get bad news, Jill's the first person I want to tell. And really we share our lives together. And no relationship's perfect, but I'm perfectly happy and thankful for my relationship with Jill in every way. There's a few things I probably would say. One, Jill, I love you. You are the best part of me, and you are amazing. And I'm so thankful that I found a Christian girl who loves Jesus and that I can share my life with in that way. I'd want you to know that I'm sorry that, I know there's so many times I would have taken you for granted and not appreciated you or treated you the way you deserve to be treated. And so I'd probably forever live with a bit of regret that I never loved you as much as I fully probably should have or could have. But then I would say thank you for everything that you've ever done. I can't imagine the scenario. I've always said, Jill, you can leave anytime you want, but I'm coming with you. Go, but where are we going? Because I couldn't imagine you leaving without me, even if you were leaving. So yeah, I would say I love you. I'd say I love our life that we've built. I'm so thankful for everything that you do for us every single day. And I can't wait to, hopefully make 20 more of these videos over our lifetime.